over the last several months, I have introduced you to several people. We remember who our first visitor was? Who can remember?
The lady.
The lady, she was called Shiko.
Shiko.
Yes, so that was a student, a former student who was showing us how you can use French in your life. Yeah, real life application. And then after that, we had a gentleman. Who remembers the name of the gentleman? He was Monsieur Edouard. Edouard, the translator, the document translator. Oh. And then after that, we had more recently, Monsieur Felix, our conference interpreter. Yeah. So today I want you to introduce you to the person who, without him, all those people would not be there. All those people would not be there. And of course, that is the French lecturer, the main man himself, Monsieur Pierre. Monsieur Pierre. We just hear a voice, but we never get to see the face. And Monsieur Pierre, welcome to our class today.
Thank you so much.
First of all, thank you. Thank you so much for all the work that you've done for the Institute. We really appreciate. Yeah. And
my pleasure.
Oh, yes. And specifically for this class, thank
you.
We turn to you for so many things that we don't know. And somehow Monsieur Pierre usually knows everything. Yeah. Some of the stuff I don't even know how he knows, but somehow he seems to know everything. So we want to find out a bit more about you today. How did you come to learn French? Yeah. Give us a bit about your background, like where you're from, and tell us how you ended up knowing French and knowing it so well.
Okay, thank you very much. I would say that people call me Pierre, but my real name is Peter. And I come from the central part of Kenya, where French is not quite known. And I remember those days, because I may call them those days, because it's more than 20 years, when I felt that I love languages so much. Correct. Not only French, but even my mother tongue. I love it with passion, and Swahili. And therefore, when I had the opportunity to join college to study, so I took French. And from the onset, I was very good in it. And my Rwandese lecturer also liked me very much because of the interest I was showing. And that's because I'm feeling that this is my area. And those days, because it's in the mid-90s, French was like Greek in our area. Very few people know about it. So even when I was going to the village and I tell people what I learned, and it was very stunning. But I went on, and it was hard to learn because even materials, it was hard to get a book. It was hard to get even a cassette, an audio to listen to. And given the area I'm living in, I can't practice with anybody. But I believe when you believe in yourself, there's nothing that can be big. So I soldiered on. I went from one library to another looking for books. And I made the teacher my closest friend. So I would always visit him at home. And because that passion, he really supported me a lot. And after a few years, I graduated. Some people would say, oh, French is so, but I told them, no, French is very easy. It's just a matter of believing in yourself and working hard. And that is why I was telling Mr. Andre that I used to walk with a dictionary in my pocket, that if I happen to see something that I don't know, I would just check. And that way I was able to build my grammar. In fact, there's this small Collins dictionary that I'll take, if it is today, I'll take letter L, and I'll pick letter L to the end. So I would read every day until I finish letter L. Then I go to K, I go to N. I knew a lot of stuff.
Wow.
And therefore, maybe in 1998, I started teaching. And I taught. There's nothing I love so much like when I teach French. That's the best thing I can ever do in this world. And therefore, I taught a lot. I went from one town to another. I found myself in the coast where I taught for 8 years. And I've been doing this for now, teaching itself for more than 22 years. Therefore,
wow.
To me, French is like my mother tongue.